Hello everyone and welcome to our channel Thinking Bee. Today we'll be looking at some JEE Advanced questions for physics in the chapter Motion in a Plane. Let's begin then. First question. Two stones are thrown up simultaneously from the edge of a cliff 240 meter high with initial speed of 10 meter per second and 40 meter per second respectively. Which of the following graph best represents the time variation of the relative position of the second stone with respect of the first? Assume that the stones do not rebound after hitting the ground and neglect air resistance, taking g as 10 meter per second square. So, let's highlight the important parts. We have the building is 240 meter high, or cliff is 240 meter high, and two stones are thrown with velocities 10 meter per second and 40 meter per second respectively. Now, the graphs are given in the next slide, and we have to determine which of these relative velocity versus time graph is correct. Not relative velocity, relative position. So, first, let's draw the diagram for the situation. Let's say this is the cliff of height 240 meters and there are two stones. First stone was thrown up with speed 10 meter per second, the second with 40 meter per second. Now, we know the formula S is equal to ut plus half at squared. Now, applying this, let's consider a frame of reference at the ground. Then we get the, let's say this is stone A and stone B. The displacement of stone A as ut, which is 10t minus, because it's minus g, acceleration is minus g, minus half into g. They said to take it as 10 meter per second squared, so 10 by 2 will be 5, so minus 5t squared. But this displacement is considering the frame of reference at 240 meter high, which is not what we considered. We considered it as the ground. So, we have to add 240 meter to this value to get our xa with reference to the ground. So, we get 240 plus 10t minus 5t square as xa. Now, let's find out at which time xa equal to 0. So, if we equate this whole thing into 0, we get 240 plus 10t minus 5t square equal to 0. Now, dividing both sides by minus 5 and minus 5t square by minus 5, we get t square minus 2t. So, it's not t square, this is t, this is 10t, so it will be minus 2t. And 240 by 5, we get 48. So, minus 48 equal to 0. So, two numbers when added or subtracted gives 2 and multiplied gives 48. I have 8 and 6. So, t minus 8 into t plus 6 is equal to 0. This means t is equal to 8 seconds. We will not consider minus 6 seconds because time cannot be negative. So, at t equal to 8 seconds, the first stone hits the ground. So, xa equal to 0 means with reference to the ground, its displacement is 0. It's basically, it is on the ground. Now, let's find the same for xb. Now, xb's formula would be ut plus half at squared. So, u will be 40t minus 5t squared plus 240 as we did before for xa. Now, let's consider xb equal to 0. Then we get 240 plus 40t minus 5t square equal to 0. Again, dividing both sides with minus 5, we get t square minus 2t minus, sorry, not 2t, we'll get minus 8t minus 48 equal to 0. This gives 48. When multiplied should give 48, and when added or subtracted should give 8. I have 12 and 4 which satisfied both of these conditions. So, t minus 12 into t plus 4 equal to 0. This gives t equal to 12 seconds. Again, it cannot be minus 4 seconds as time cannot be negative. This means that the second stone will reach the ground at t equal to 12 seconds. So what does this mean? Now, based on the graphs, we have some important locations given, 8 and 12 in all of these graphs. So from 0 to 8 seconds, we know both of them are in air and is only under the act of gravity. So their relative acceleration would be minus g. Sorry, each of the accelerations would be minus g. This gives their relative acceleration to be 0 because in relation to each other, both of them are not undergoing any acceleration. So this means as acceleration is 0, relative velocity is constant. And if velocity is constant, if we take an xt graph, we will get an inclined straight line for 0 to 8 seconds. Now, if we look at all of these graphs, these are all showing from 0 to 8 seconds as a straight inclined line, A, B, C, and D. So, next, to confirm which option it is, we have to check from 8 to 12 seconds. Now, after 8 seconds, the stone A would be in the ground. So, A1 or AA would be equal to 0. However, stone B is still under projectile motion. So, AB would be equal to minus g. This means their relative acceleration in this case is not 0 but minus g. So, to find their relative positions, we have in the graph y2 minus y1. So, y2 in this case is basically xb and y1 is basically xa, because in this case they are taking the displacement along y-axis and that's why they gave it y. However, we took x already, so we'll continue with x. So, xb minus xa. Now, xb we found out is 240 plus 40t minus 5t square. Now, in xa, we should not put the formula 240 plus 10t minus 5t square because right now it is at the ground and cannot go any further downwards. So, if we put that formula, it would mean that it will continue down towards the ground, which is not true. This means xa will be 0 from 8 to 12 seconds. So, we get 240 plus 40t minus 5t square. Now, rearranging this, we get minus 5t square plus 40t plus 240 minus 5t square. Now, if we look at this, we can see that this is a quadratic equation. Now, we know the graph of a quadratic equation is a parabola. So, we can immediately cancel option A and option B. However, we can see that in option C and option D, they are showing parabola but of different directions. So, we have to look at the basic diagrams for a parabola. So, if we have ax square plus bx plus c equal to y, then if a is greater than 0, then we will have an upward parabola. And if a is less than 0, we will have a downward parabola. So, here we have xb minus xa or y2 minus y1 as minus 5t square plus 40t plus 240. Now, we can see that a of this, that is the coefficient of t square, is minus 5, which is definitely less than 0. This means the graph in the option should resemble the graph of a less than 0 or some part of the graph. Now, let's look at the options. In option D, we can see that, 1 minute, let me change the color. In option D, we can see that this part, if we continue drawing, shows the diagram of a greater than 0. However, we have concluded that a less than 0, this diagram is what we should have. So, this concludes that D is also incorrect. This automatically makes C correct because, as you can see, from 8 to 12, we have a downward parabola or part of the downward parabola, because if we continue this, we'll get the diagram we would require. So option C is the correct answer for this question. Now, next question. An insect crawls up a hemispherical surface very slowly. The coefficient of friction between the insect and the surface is 1/3. If the line joining the center of the hemispherical surface to the insect meets an angle alpha with the vertical, the maximum possible value of A or alpha so that the insect does not slip is given by. We have cot alpha equal to 3, sec alpha equal to 3, cosec alpha equal to 3, or cos alpha equal to 3. Now, the numerical values given in the question is that the coefficient of friction between the insect and the surface is 1/3. And they are asking the maximum possible value of alpha so that the insect does not slip. So let's observe the diagram more carefully. Now, let's say we draw a line perpendicular to this line over here. We have this is 90 degrees. So if this is alpha, this would be 90 minus alpha. Now, if we draw a tangent to the radius, which is shown in the figure, then we have something like this. Now, the whole angle over here is 90 degrees. So if this is 90 minus alpha, this angle must be alpha. And so similarly, if we draw another surface over here, we can say that this angle is also alpha. Now, if we look carefully, now it's like the motion of the ant is along an inclined plane temporarily with an angle alpha. Now, let's say we know that alpha in this case would be the angle of repose, because in an inclined plane, this is the angle of repose. Now, the maximum value of alpha, or the angle of repose, can be calculated as tan alpha is equal to the coefficient of friction between the ant and the surface. Now, since the hemisphere is now part of the inclined plane, we will consider the friction between the ant and the sphere to be mu. Now, mu they gave the question as 1/3. This gives tan alpha is equal to 1/3. However, if you look at the options, we have nothing with terms of tan alpha. However, if we reciprocal this, we can see that in all of the options, the last they are ending in 3, equating it to 3. So if we want to make this 3, you have to take the reciprocal. Reciprocal of tan alpha is cot alpha, and 1/3 is 3, reciprocal of it. So we get cot alpha equal to 3. If we look at the options, we can see that option A, cot alpha equal to 3 is the correct answer for this question. Now, the one we have to notice in the question is that the insect should not slip, and from this we have to click that we have to connect it to inclined plane motion, and using the theory of the maximum angle of repose, we are able to find that alpha can be related to the coefficient of friction as tan alpha is equal to mu, and from there we get cot alpha is equal to 1/mu. So that's the last question of this video. We hope you enjoyed this very much. Until the next episode, where we will be looking at physics, chemistry and mathematics, stay safe, take care, ta-ta for now.